morning. Sorry guys, I am having trouble recording this video. I can't remember the story very well. It was a hot summer morning, and there was 5 customers in the store. 2 men, 1 child, and 2 women. There's a woman in front of me, a woman and her child sitting on the front, like not the front, but like sitting on the seats that are in the store, and 2 men in the second register, which is in the middle of the store. And remember, they were talking to my husband, and I was talking to this lady who was finishing paying her bill. She was about to leave, and this other person walked in. This person walked in like any other person would to a business, but since we worked in an area where we see tourists a lot, so this person walks in with the luggage, you know, don't the wheels on, and he's dragging it. And as this person stood behind the woman that I was helping, his eyes were wandering around the store, and that's normal, for tourists. Tourists are always curious, everything's new to them, so then of course their eyes wander. But then this lady she was gonna leave the store, but turned back around immediately as the guy approached me. Right when that happened, the guy's approaching me, the lady was about to walk out, but she comes back. This guy flips out. She just flips out, and he immediately takes a weapon out. Bam. Puts it right in front of her head. And he said, "That better be the last bleep time you cut me off." We're thinking, okay, what is this guy's problem? But you see a weapon, you need to act fast. You can't afford to panic. You need to hide your emotions and react. Your brain has to become alert, and you need to read see everything he has, because you don't know if that luggage is full of weapons or it's full of clothes or whatever. You don't know what's in there, and you don't want to risk them either. At this point, as soon as I saw the weapon, I grabbed the phone that I had in front of the desk. At this point, I'm dialing 911 for help. This guy, I was in his blind spot, because there was a computer right in front of me like this, and the phone was right down here, but my desk is like right here and the phone's down here. So he didn't see, because of the computer, he couldn't see that I grabbed the phone and I dialed 911. Put it down. I couldn't, do this, because obviously that would be a trigger point. He would know that I'm calling for help. So at this point, I have the operator on the line, but little did I know that the operator thought it was a prank call. The reason I say that is because, let me rewind a little. This guy puts the weapon on this woman's forehead. He then told her that would be the last time you cut me off, but obviously used profanity. And this woman and child that are right there sitting down started going to the exit, because you don't know if the weapon's gonna fire or not. So she grabbed her child like a sack of potatoes and walked out. This woman, she just gasped for air. Obviously you see a weapon for the first time, you're scared, you're gonna turn pale, and you can gasp for air. So she went like that. And these other 2 men that were standing in front of my husband's register, which is the middle of the store, they saw the danger. They couldn't do much, even though we outnumbered the one person. He was still in control of the store because he had a weapon. So he had the upper hand, unfortunately. And it's unless you know how to take someone's weapon from their hand, it's better you don't try to be the hero, So at this point, this woman screamed her lungs out after gasping, and then she goes for the exit. When she goes for the exit, this guy turns towards me. There's another 2 men in the store at this point. There's 2 other customers, myself and my husband. And I was like, oh my Lord, So I look at the customers and I'm like telling them like with my eyes, like, dude, like call for help or something. I don't know if they did or they didn't. I won't know because I never saw them again. And they started walking out slowly. Like they didn't, like they walked out like, they're in no danger to you. Like, if you're gonna rob the store or whatever. This point, my husband, he got the first thing that he could to kind of like protection, so he grabs a chair, kind of from the back, like, kind of grabs it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. He grabs it, he picks it up, like he's like this with the chair, ready to throw it. I don't know what he was thinking, honestly, but he grabbed it. He was ready to throw it. And I was just standing there. I was not showing fear. I was just there. I was kind of like looking at him angry, like, how dare you come in here, invade our space, and try to threaten not only the store, the business, but our customers and ourselves, So we were both looking at him, like trying to intimidate him with our eyesight. And this guy was confused, because other times, obviously people panic, like this woman clearly panicked. So we caught him off guard. Because instead of us going into panic mode, we shield ourselves, and I was, at that point, I was like, okay, what's his next move? He goes to the middle, like, it's like myself, and it's like my husband's register, like let's say that this is where my register was, like at the end near the screen, and towards the end is where my husband's was at. So it was a big gap between my husband and I. At this point, there was like a moment of silence. There was like nothing going on. We were all just staring at each other. And he walked towards the middle, towards my husband. And my husband raised the chair a little higher. Like, I'm about to throw this at you. Like, take one more step. And at that point, he, I don't remember what really happened right there. Oh, I think he tried to reach over. Oh, okay. He tried reaching over the desk to grab, to see if he can open this displays. But the displays doors, they were messed up. So the only way you could move them was like physically pick it up from both sides and slide it to the right or slide it to the left. And he tried kind of just, doing one of these numbers, and he couldn't. And so he kind of gave up and started going towards the exit. But this it sounds like it was like seconds that he was doing this. But it was like probably, it took like maybe like 2-3 minutes that he was trying to get into the display, because he couldn't see where the handle was to open the display. He couldn't see from his side. And at this point, he never put the gun over the display. So he had it, he was one of those, like those shows they have, the dumb robbers or the, or whatever you call it. So either this was his first time trying to rob a place, or he simply, I don't know. But thing being is that he left empty-handed. He never tried to go towards the back of the store. He stayed just in the middle of the store and kind of tried to stay where I was, which is the front of the store. And when he walked out, he said, "Don't call the police." Like, really? Police is already on the line. But little did I know this is a woman. I'm assuming it was a woman. I don't know. This operator, or this man, I don't know. This operator just hung up the phone. They're like, I ain't having none of this. This is a prank call. So I hung up. I called back. I pick up the phone, and I'm like, hello. There's nobody there. The line had already been disconnected. I pick up the phone again, and I dial 911, and I was like, hello. I give him the description of the man, and I tell him I called because I couldn't, and I left the phone like in front of me. I couldn't speak. This man was still in the store. And I was hoping that you guys can track the call and see that, there's probably something going on. We should go over there. But no. Instead, they just missed it. Then later on, the cops came. They were looking at the video, the surveillance tape. And the guy got away again. My husband was standing at the front of the store. I called and I told them what's going on. I called the owner, and this time around I didn't burst into tears. I was more relaxed, if you can say that. I was more in control of of the situation this time around. I am not saying that I want to ever go through that again, but this time around I was very proud of myself because I didn't go into panic mode. I actually observed and I tried to take control of the situation by keeping myself in control of my emotions and whatnot. And yeah, so that happened. It wasn't as scary as the first time around. I guess all it takes is one bad experience for you to build up the courage for if you ever had to go through that situation, you kind of already know how to shield yourself. I don't want to ever go through this, and I don't wish this upon anyone, but I am pretty thankful that both my husband and I came out of this and are alive and well, healthy, thank God. But yeah, that happened, and there's more to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a story of mine. It's not a story I'm proud to say, but you know, I don't really share my stories like that, but I figured I might as well record them, and one day I can look back and remember. I don't know. I mean, who wants to remember that? Not me. I have some videos of my pregnancies coming up, and also videos of other things that I want to do, but we'll just have to wait and see what comes next, right? So for now, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.